Brennan find out that Jordan is a finalist for the Blitnikoff Award? Kind of, what have you seen out of him just over the last few weeks, and especially that Virginia game?
I think the biggest thing that Jordan has done this year is he's really taken it on amongst his shoulders to be a team guy and do everything possible to help the team win. And I think that's what's taken over and how he's gotten so much individual success. It's just from him, just you see him out there blocking, punt return, anything possible, clearing guys out, doing everything he can just to win games. And I think that's led to, his success and Kenny's success and, our team's success.
How much have the other guys been watching him? And is he a lead by example guy? Do you see other guys kind of watching what he's doing because of the season he's having?
I told him when I got here, I said, you have to practice like the way you play in games. So in games, you see his emotion, you see him, fired up, and he's practicing like that now. And he's practiced like that since the spring. And, it's really, been contagious with the group as far as how everybody practices at a high level. And, when you have that type of energy and practice, it makes the game really easy and slow down for him. And I think the game is really slowed down for him. He's making those same plays in practice every day that he makes in the game.
Some guys had said they were afraid that last pass would get intercepted. Did you share those fears when you saw it go in the air and Jordan go up with the D-back?
Well, I thought that Kenny was throwing the ball to Gavin, and then I saw Jordan come back. When Jordan came back, I knew he would catch the ball. I just had that belief in him. I knew he would come back and catch the ball. What I didn't know, that he would catch the ball and then take it to the house the way that he did. So, I didn't care if I got a penalty or not. I ran all the way down there with him. I mean, that was a heck of a play. So, obviously to seal the coastal, but he's, like I said, he's taking it upon his back to go out there and make those plays.
What kind of conversations do you have with him about him moving on to the next level? I mean, taking his game a little bit further than it is now.
We never really talk about that. We just talk about, when I got here, he had goals. I said, "What's your wildest dreams?" I asked all the guys, "What's your wildest dream?" And he told me that, he wanted to get a housing development where his whole family lived on the same street. If you've ever seen him at the games, he has a lot of family that comes and supports him, and they really love him, and he wants to give back to them. So I told him that if you have those type of goals, this is the type of work ethic it's going to take to reach those goals. And really, he's just stayed dedicated and committed to that. Last week when he found out he was on the Blitnikoff list or whatever, he meets with me every Monday for an hour and a half, 2 hours, just on going over the plays and what we're going to do in each DB. We watch every single DB that he's going to play, and then he goes out on the jugs machine and catches 200 passes. So he's doing all the things every day just to worry about now, and the rest will take care of itself.
Brennan, I know Coach Narduzzi told us that he wanted to improve the yak with the receiver group as a whole when you came in. What, for Jordan specifically, what makes him so good at excelling in those areas or in that area?
I think we do a lot of different drills in practice. Jordan just naturally, he's innate, has that talent, ability. But when you practice it, like I said, just the practice habits of we only have one day where we really slow it down. Every other day we're literally full speed and working these things, and we do different things that'll make it, make your talent come alive in games. So I think that's really just what's happened throughout the year.
You guys have been a little thinner at wide receiver over the last couple of weeks, and that's put more pressure on Jordan, obviously, to produce. How has he been able to continue to still dominate when maybe some of the defenses even more are paying closer attention to him because he's kind of the main guy out there?
I think anytime you're a freshman All-American, he kind of already had that going in. And like I said, it's just the work ethic and practice. When you watch, I know you guys don't get to see the full practice, right? But if you would see a full practice, he is the same tempo, the same speed that you see on Saturdays. So he's not slowing down. You saw in the fourth quarter when the game was on the line last play, he was still able to go out there and make an amazing catch and take it, 60 yards to the house and look like it was the first quarter, the first play of the game. So he's just fresh. The equipment staff, or not the equipment staff, the strength staff, the trainers, they do a great job. Dietitian, everybody here does a great job of making sure these guys are fresh and ready to go. And, with guys that have went out, he knows that he has to do more with a Taysir and a Barden going down. He knows that he has to do more. But in our room, you'll see on the wall, it says to whom much is given, much is required. And that's what I always tell him, that you gotta do more.
How creative have you guys been schematically to try and free him up, especially as the season's gone on?
Well, I always get, I was kind of, there's receivers where, they say like, well, he's a slot receiver, and Jordan's not a slot receiver. He's a receiver. He lines up at every spot, and he has the intelligence to do that. And Whip trusts him, and trusts me to move him around and be in different spots and make plays. And he's lined up everywhere this year, in the slot, on the outside, at Z, different places. And that's how he's able to, it's hard to key on him and know where he's at because he moves around and he can make those plays down the field.
Did you get a chance to see his reaction when he was told he was a Blitnikoff finalist? How did he react?
We kept watching the film, to be honest with you. I mean, he didn't.
He was told while you guys were watching film?
Yeah, we just kept watching the film.
He didn't say anything or do anything?
No, we're like, it's tunnel vision time right now. We're trying to win the championship and go to the big bowl game and do all those things. So right now it's really, I'm sure at some point he'll sit back and, relish in the moment of it. But right now it's just about the work.
Was that yesterday or today?
Last week we found out about being now today we found out about, being in the top 3. So
you mentioned obviously Taysier, Jalen, those guys are out and puts more on Jordan, but even the guys behind him, Jared and even Jaden Bradley playing more snaps, Shockey. What have you seen from those guys in terms of their ability to elevate themselves with a couple guys out?
Yeah, the biggest thing I tell those guys, they all got to believe that they're the guy, and all their moments are coming, even though it hasn't happened. Good moment, bad moment, great moment. Just keep working, stay consistent, and when that opportunity comes for you, it will arise, and those guys can make plays. And I think they all believe that. They all have a great belief in Kenny, and they know when they're out there, they're open and they can make plays. The majority of the time, most of the plays do go to Jordan, but they know that they're freed up and available to make those plays when their opportunity arises. So I think those guys have done a good job of when they get a chance, they really make it happen because they know I don't get a lot of opportunities, right? I get 2 or 3 a game, and I have to make it happen. So they do a good job at doing that.
Is there hope that you guys could get Taysier or Jalen back?
I'm not a doctor or God, so I don't know. Hopefully.
Dr. Narduzzi can answer that question.
Did you ever make any similar plays that Jordan made on off the field?
Maybe not at off the field. Maybe in college, but not in high school. No, that guy's special. I told him the other day. I said, "You took the throw, man. You're the guy." So after I saw him make that last play, I was like, "He's different. That's a different guy out there."
I know Shockey had some high aspirations of the season, specifically with him and Jarrett. How do you think that they have performed here over the last couple of weeks?
Both of those guys are over 90% catching the ball. That's the most important thing that I care about is making sure that when those opportunities arise and they get the ball. You've seen Jared this week and last week, the first time he dropped the ball all season. He had 1 drop last week and he had 1 drop the week before. Other than that, he was 100% perfect catching the ball. So, Shockey, same thing. He's only put 1 ball on the ground the entire year. So, when you talk about that, they are doing everything that they can when they do get an opportunity, and that's what I appreciate from them.